Hey there, this is K4A, Knowledge for All educational videos and tutorials. In this video today we are going to learn how to change the direction of sprite in Scratch in editor with editor. So we're not going to use any kind of these Scratch blocks in this video today, just typing the numbers here in these fields on your right. First of all, what is the position? What position means in Scratch? How it is represented, and how to find it? Where to find the value for it? The position in Scratch is defined with X and Y coordinates. The numbers are here in these fields X and Y, and the whole Scratch scene, Scratch stage is divided in X and Y coordinates. So when you want to move your sprite, the character on the screen, to the left or to the right, that means you need to change the X position of coordinates, and when you want to move it up and down, as this arrow is representing here, you need to change the Y value for coordinates. So you don't have to remember that if you're not good in math or it's too hard for you. You have these arrows here showing you what is what, left and right X, up and down Y. So that's what we are going to change today. And for example, this is the good example of how to what you can, for example, face in a real world when you make a game. So for example, if this is a multiplayer game where you have 4 players playing the game at the same time, players are bugs. We have 4 players, 4 bugs, and the whole idea is that you should be the fastest one which comes to the muffin, so they all should start from the right or left or top or down edge of the screen, and then run to the muffin. The first one wins, the first one that touches the muffin wins. And you can see that the bug on the right is closest already, so this is not a fair game. Our players should all start from equally distanced positions from the muffin for the game to be fair. So we have to define that and to change the sprites on the screen, and one way to do it is just to type these numbers here. And if I, for example, type -180 instead of -172, you can see how this bug on the left went a little bit more to the left, or you can just click on the bug and move it to the left itself, or like this. But the problem with that is that it's not very precise, so I can, for example, accidentally move it a little bit up instead of in the middle, and so on. So it's very you have to be very careful, or better use those numbers. But also with the numbers you have to define first where do you want something to show up on the screen, and you have to be aware how your sprites here, how big they are, what is the resolution of them, and so on. So it's not very for beginners, it's not very easy. If you want this to be really precise, I will show you that in a second. For example, if I choose a backdrop, and I think there is a grid like, yeah, this one, XY grid. So this muffin, I want this muffin to be in the center of the stage, and center is always 0 for X and 0 for Y. So for example, if I type here 0 for Y and 0 for X, it says now my muffin is in the middle. But if I count these squares here, I can see that on the left I have 7 squares, and on the right 9 squares, so it's not really a middle, and you can see how this bug on the right has a much bigger distance to cover until it touches this muffin like this, and this one on the left should go much lesser distance and it will always win. So even though I have put 0 0 to be in the middle, my muffin has some kind of middle point, pivot point defined on some place I cannot see easily or don't know where to find it, so it's not very easy. But the one way I think to solve it is to pick some circle, like for example this ball, or even maybe if there is some smaller, this maybe button. I have imported Sprite button. I will change the size of it to 20. Yeah, that looks great. And now I will say go to X0 and Y0, and I will move this muffin to show you how easy it is. That's also one, for example, tip. I could make a different video on this, but you see now how this green circle here, because we said go to X0 and Y0, this circle is now at the middle of the stage, at the middle of the screen. And if I count these squares on the left and on the right, I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 on the left, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 on the right. So it's for these two bugs now it is equally distanced, so I can now put, for example, this muffin in that place by drag and dropping it to make it fair. Simple as that. Again, we had some kind of combination of click and drag and drop, and also typing those numbers here, but we haven't solved the problem with the bugs in terms of, maybe I should put it like here to go, but it's not very precise again, because okay, 0, nah. Let me try 0 0 to see where it goes. So it's not very precise, but the whole idea here was to show that you can define those numbers here with X and Y. So for all of those sprites, and we have learned to find the center of the stage with simple square or circle shapes. These X and Y position, you will use them mostly with code, and sometimes you will use them in editor like we did here to define the scene. But for example, the bugs on top and bottom, they have 1 2 3 4 5 6 squares to touch the muffin, so it's not a fair game. The bugs on the top and bottom are closer to the muffin. Okay, I think I will stop here, and in next video we will learn how to use some of the scratch blocks to control the position of sprite in Scratch with code. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.